we wanted to deliver a video for you that has the most value in how-to when it comes to tools. And one of the tools we have been talking about, not really in videos, is Asana. So we gotta do something on Asana. Why to use Asana, how to use Asana. And if you know me, then you know that these tool videos come up every year. If you don't know me yet, my name is Christoph Magnussen. I'm the founder of Blackboard, and we are a company that helps other companies to improve collaboration. And of course, a project management tool is one of these tools that we got to talk about. So we thought how to make the ultimate Asana video that you can watch in 2021 to make sure you know if you should come up with Asana to your team and how to do it actually. So we have a talk with all the experts from my team about what are the killer features in Asana. And I'm not talking about a step-by-step guide, I'm talking about like what are the reasons why to use certain features. And then we also talk about, and that's a very, very, very important thing that I talked years ago already when it comes to other tools, and this is timeless, I mean, as timeless as my glasses back then.
This is really bad. I mean, it's...
What about the culture? And by that I mean that you need a certain company culture to implement a tool. Don't make the mistake and assume that you implement the tool and everything will change. It's the other way around. Do you have the CRM tool culture? That's what I asked back then. Do you have the project management tool culture? Do you have a culture for collaboration tools? Whatever comes to that. And if you don't have that, we also have two other experts here in this video who will share with you how to come up with that step by step, how to take the team along with you. And this is what this video is about, and I hope, and this is very close to my heart, that you take the most value out of this video and comment if there is anything you miss. And of course there are other feature videos about Asana that are really good on YouTube, but to me as a founder of a company it was always important to understand the reason why and what are the key elements of implementing a new tool. So, thanks for watching, stay tuned, and here's the ultimate Asana 2021 guide.
So, hello guys, Yannick here. You may recognize me from our last crew vlog at Jägermeister. I'm the video editor, one of the video editors here at Blackboard, and I just wanted to give a quick intro by myself. Thank you, Christoph, for your intro. I was responsible for the recordings and the interviews we've done, and Christoph mentioned. And yeah, just a quick overview for you guys. I did the interviews over Google Meet with Katharina, Tessa, Nicole and Andy. Something about the structure of this video. As Christoph mentioned, we are not going to do a deep dive into the functionalities of Asana, but my colleague Andy did a little best practices video, I would say. He recorded it by himself via Zoom, and I think it's a good thing to start with that, because you guys get a little overview how we work in our company and how we use Asana, and show you guys why we like Asana so much. So I guess we'll start with that. I'll come back to you later, but for now, feature Andy, take it away.
Jumping into Asana and how we are using it, and yeah, how do we do that? I think we have Asana since my first day within Blackboard. We just struggle at the beginning to write down all the tasks, all the to-dos, all the project details, as it's a little bit of work, and it came up with some pain points after that when it's too many projects maybe, and those many projects, no one had an overview about that, and so there was the pain to have an overview, to have an actual status of different projects, and this in a transparent way. And I think this was the pain point where I said, okay, now we have to sit down and everyone has to clean up all his Asana tasks, all his projects within the tool. And so welcome in my Asana view. What I like at Asana is really the project view. And here I've got a test project maybe for a special project we are actually doing. I'm not sure what I can show. Maybe I can show This one, you see different chapters over here, and you can create new tasks within here. It's as easy as it is, and that's not a really interesting thing, and it's not so interesting that you can do this in details and so on with all the assignees. Please never create a task without assigning anyone and without a due date. Yeah, otherwise no one will take care about that. There's a special reason why we are using milestones over here. You will see later on. These are events definitely taking place at a special time. And here with maybe it's, in this case, it's a workshop or energizer session, don't matter. And here you see also all the assignees, but it's really getting a little bit nicer. You can have a look on those different chapters over here in a board. You can see all your timeline down here in every project. Yeah, for sure. I don't use it that much, but what I do on a regular basis is keeping how this project is going on track or not. And this means, yeah, here you can set the latest status and update the status of every project. And this is something that's really nice having, in my case, I'm doing this bi-weekly for every project I'm responsible of, having a bi-weekly project update, writing down, okay, a summary, what's going on here, what are the stuff that are not going well. But here you can have a short status, writing it down, and everyone in your company see, are we on track? What are the actual progress? And you can bring in new colleagues, for example, and just saying, hey, have a look in the project, have a look in the status. And even your boss, you can have a look on this project bi-weekly and see, okay, what is going on, and some tones between the lines. Yeah, this is what's going on here, not really only the tasks, it's giving you more context between the lines. So this is really important, and I'm using this really regularly, bi-weekly, as I said. And all my tasks across all projects are coming together in my tasks. And here you see all my tasks. And these are the chapters today, upcoming, and later. And I try to make sure not having more than 5 or 6 tasks each day. 1 big task, 2 middle big tasks maybe, and 2 or 3 small tasks that are done really fast. And this is how my perfect day with tasks look like. As I mentioned, tasks, yeah, big tasks, middle big tasks, and small tasks. And this means tasks are lasting different amount of time. And here we added to every task the possibility to add the hours. Yeah? Here, for example, I have to write down an actual roadmap. So approximately I need 1 hour. So I write down 1 hour, and this is for today. And why does this make sense? This makes sense because we are doing stuff and using the portfolio function or portfolio feature within Asana. And this you will find over here in portfolio. And here you see our advisory project overview about all worker. Yeah. And here you see how my time of 8 hours per week, 8 hours per day, I used actually in the different tasks. And you see when it's getting red, then this day is a really full day. And I should, yeah, have a deep look if it's not possible to bring some tasks to the next week, probably. Otherwise, my day tomorrow will be really tough. So these are my personal Asana tips. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Andy, for giving us some insights into your best practices to Asana. Very helpful, I hope, for you guys. Now we are going to get a little more onto the features side or the plugin side. Our colleagues I talked with about Asana wanted to share some, their favorite plugins or features in Asana, and there's some pretty great features or implementations, like connecting it to other tools or something like that. So I guess it's pretty helpful, and I guess it's also it makes sense to do it now after the best practices part. So let's do that and dive into the features and plugins. Let's go.
My favorite Asana feature. Ooh, I think my favorite feature is probably just the deadlines. Like, I'm a sucker for deadlines, and I think so whenever I'm given a task to know by when does this need to be done by, that's super important, not only for me, but if you're working within a team, you need deadlines. You need to come to some sort of agreement of by which time something is finished. And I love having the overview of my tasks, because if you're working in several different projects at once, sometimes it happens so quickly that you completely lose the overview of what do I need to do today or what do I need to do this week. And in particular, if it's a week before a stream date, sometimes you're so in the world of this one project that you forget all the other ones that you actually have things to do in as well. So I love that my task overview. I think it's fantastic because it shows that you're not just involved in the one thing that may be taking up a lot of your brain space right now, but you still have other things going on. I'm all for clear instructions. What do I need to do? By when do I need to do it? Or who's responsible for that? So if it doesn't happen, that I know whose door I'm knocking at.
I've been working on this productivity topic for quite some years now, also like privately. And I've always worked with some kind of digital tool. For me, Asana is in that sense super helpful because it gives you this overview about what's happening not only in my to-do list, but in other people's as well, and as well, especially in the context of projects. So I've always worked in this style, basically. But with Asana, for me, it was in this sense very easy to transfer how I've been working before into a new tool. But also what I think is super important in this sense is that you make sure that at this point, Asana is the only to-do tool you're using. And with that, I also mean to-do lists in the form of your inbox, for instance, which for many people is still a to-do list. Like I mark certain emails and that's my to-do list. So in that sense, be very careful to use also connectors or plugins that make it easy for you to transfer to-dos from maybe your inbox, as in certain email I need to take care of, as a to-do in Asana, so you can put it there in the correct context and have just one single list where all the tasks and all the to-dos come together.
As we all know, we're all busy and have little time, so I try to save time as much as possible, and shortcuts are a great way to do that. And I wanted to show you my favorite one, which is Tab B. So you just press the Tab button and the B. So, you know, during Corona, sometimes we need a little mood boost. So you can just try this and you know,
I actually didn't know that.
you get a little kitty laugh. So this is my favorite shortcut, actually. I'm more of a dog person, but that will do on a bad day.
I think that alone is a reason to use Asana from now on for every one of our viewers.
Definitely. So also, if you go on your profile picture here, you can access your settings, and if you go on the tab called Hacks, you can. It's in German, it's called Extra Vergnügen. I think the English translation is Extra Delights. So if you choose this option, you will get the unicorns that appear when you finish a task, or the rainbow, as we see here.
You told me that you wanted to show us some functionalities, some plugins into Asana. And you mentioned the email plugin for Asana, which Katharina also talked about, which is very useful. Mm-hmm. Maybe you can tell us why you like this plugin especially, and then show us how it's done.
Sure. Yes. Basically, we don't really communicate via email internally at Blackboard, but of course, I'm communicating with a lot of clients and external partners, so email is still a tool that we use, and it's very practical if you can just forward your email into Asana, and just with a simple click. So this is a functionality that I really like and appreciate, and I will just share my screen with you to show you how it works. You will find it within those symbols here. So you can just check for your Asana symbol. I have a Slack plugin or add-in as well, and you can find Asana, so it hides and pops up if you click on it. And basically, it's pretty easy. If you just choose an email from your inbox, it will automatically ask you if you want to create a new task. So if I just click on here, the task name will be the same as the email, but you can change it if you want. You can already choose your due date and the person you want to assign this task to, and also add some comments. And by clicking on create task, let's check if that worked. So if I look at my task, here we go. This is basically the task that has been created from my email account.
Like, email is a not very transparent way of communicating. It actually transforms the email into some kind of transparent communication for everybody, right?
Stop right there. That's my cue. Here I come in again and interrupt this video one last time, I promise you guys. But this whole transparency thing and topic we mentioned in the last part is actually, I think, part of a bigger overall topic, and that's the culture, as Christoph mentioned right in the beginning of this video. And I talked a lot about culture with my colleagues, and I think it's one of the most important parts or topics or things to think about when working with Asana, or thinking about working with Asana. So this is going to be the last part, but I think, as I mentioned, it's going to be the most important one also for you guys. So let's dive into that. The culture part, Asana video 2021. Let's take it away. I'll come back to you to give you a proper bye-bye in the end. But till then, let's hear something about the culture topic. Have fun.
I'm kind of the Asana housekeeper in our team. I really love it, and I like to have a good structure and overview and see who's doing what in which project and how far we've come along, and if there are any roadblocks or exciting milestones. So Asana for me is a great tool to get this overview. But I only get it because everyone in the team is super eager to keep it up to date and really track everything that is going on. You know, you need to create a kind of a routine to get into this habit of really checking daily to see if everything is up to date. Can I check off something, or do I need to maybe change the date or the duration or something like this? So if all of us work together on this, it does become only a tiny job for everyone, but for me it's a big result in getting this overview.
But I think just the basic processes of working together, there's so many aspects to consider, and a tool doesn't solve all problems. There's so many things that go into that. You need a good culture, you need some basic guidelines or rules. I hate the word rules, but you do need some rules at the end of the day of what you use the tool for and what you don't use the tool for. And especially we have so many tools working together at Blackboard. So we have Slack as our central communications tool, which would then also feed into Asana. And then we obviously use emails as well. We have our calendar. And it's just sometimes very difficult to know where do we centrally organize everything. I think having Asana at the focus point of everything for organizing, for tasks, for a clear overview of what is like the overview of the project, how long is it running for, and in particular to see what kind of hiccups could happen within this project.
It doesn't matter if you're like doing client work and have kind of clear projects, or if you are more on the creative side of the jobs. So you have also the ability to use like the board functionality to get an overview of all the creative ideas you have, and then you can start discussing these ideas within Asana. And also if you come to a certain stage where you say it's not just an idea anymore, but we want to maybe create a concept or a storyline, etc., you bring it to the next phase, and then you can assign someone who's taking care of it, and anyone else in the team also knows who's taking care of this idea. So I think Asana makes it easy for different type of jobs to stay organized. The most important thing is that everyone in the company does it. And for this, I guess it needs a culture where everyone is on board to understand if we all use it in a similar way or in the same way, we will get the most out of it. And it's not helpful if I personally think Asana is not my style. I don't like the unicorns. I prefer another tool. If that would be my attitude, we would run into certain problems. So the company culture is quite essential in that sense, that we know, we want to work in a certain way together. We have a certain vision, how we want to be. And in this way, it doesn't really matter what your type of job is. If we can all put it into Asana and probably get the same results out of it.
We have all the projects that we're currently working on in Blackboat, whether it be advisory, tech, streaming, content, or whatever. We have open to every employee at Blackboat, and we foster this culture of complete transparency, which is so important to us. So that obviously makes it easier if you can kind of take a look behind each curtain to see what's happening, then you can definitely get a better idea of what is happening at Blackboat at the moment. The portfolio view as well shows as well where each of our employees are currently working and how their time is spaced out at the moment.
Well, as I'm a psychologist, I always like to think about the processes in our human behavior, and of course this transparency we're talking about, for us at Blackboat, it's where we're used to it and we live it. And for a lot of clients, for example, it is a big cultural shift to really share and be open about, what am I working on? What are my tasks? So you really have to have this conversation in your company to reach the potential within tools like Asana, for example, because if people see it as a threat because they feel controlled, they feel like, their work progress is being exposed, or they don't like to share their work in progress. So this is something you really have to keep in mind and communicate about it and say, okay, we use it to, to have those synergies that we're talking about, to avoid doing tasks twice, because if I know that, for example, my colleague Katharina is working on a concept that I'm planning on to work on, I can just ask her when I see it if she can share it with me, or we can brainstorm and exchange ideas, and I don't have to start from scratch. So this is also something that it takes a little bit of getting used to, I think, especially in a very traditional or rather conservative company culture. If people don't collect all their tasks in there and share it transparently and still write on their notebooks, for example, right? So I could still do this and just, put the fancy task into my Asana and or just add a lot of things that I actually don't do just to appear very busy. So you have to be open within the company and don't use it as a tool to check if your employees are working at the moment, but just rather have to focus on how can we make our lives easier, how can we see if some people might need a little bit of support because they're so swamped and others have maybe a little bit of time resources at the moment.
And it's going to be more and more important when we're not just a team of 6 or 7 people, but of maybe 30 or 40 people. It's going to be instrumental in order to make that work.
So that was the culture part, and with that our last part of our big Asana tool video 2021. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you. Thanks for all the support you're giving us in these times, and really normally this is the part Christoph is saying, but maybe from our perspective too, we love what we are doing, and we really appreciate all the support you gave us. And yeah, that was it. So I hope you guys liked the video and took some information and some insights you may find helpful in the future out of this video. And stay tuned. There are a lot of great things coming, a lot of great content waiting for you guys to be published. So stay tuned, and we'll see us in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe down here and watch another video right over there. There are many ones which are quite entertaining, so there's something for you maybe this evening to watch the next few hours. So see you later, and thank you guys. Bye.